Hi, and welcome to this installment of Frank and Mary here in Westborough. If you haven't seen this show before, my name is Art Bergeron. My day job is as an elder law attorney at Myrick O'Connell. I'm down the street right in Westborough. But this is not about my day job. It is about my friends Frank and Mary. If you've seen any of my presentations, you know that Frank and Mary, I talk about them a lot. They're my make-believe couple who want to live in their house until they die and be buried in the backyard. And if that's in Westborough, they want to stay right here. They don't want to move away. So the point of this show is to help you, if you can identify with Frank and Mary, find out how you can stay right here. What are the things that are of interest to you that will allow you to just be able to stay right here in Westborough? My co-host is Shelby Marshall, whom it seems everybody knows. And Shelby is charged with getting these great guests, and we have some terrific ones today. Shelby, whom do we have today?
Yeah, well, welcome, Arthur. Always great to see you, and very excited that this is our last show of the calendar year
Of
and
2020.
I know of 2020. But we're ending it.
It's done.
We're ending it on a high note and a clean note, if you will, because I have some great guests. They are fellow Rotarians, Heather Abram and Sharad Mehta, and they are here to talk about a really cool initiative that the Rotary Club of Westborough has undertaken. I'm going to let them introduce it, but it's about cleaning up the earth and plastic recycling. So welcome, Heather and Sharad. Thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm going to, so you know, the basics. We sort of prep behind the scenes. We want to know what it is, how do folks participate, and why should they care about this? So take it away.
Okay, let me share my screen.
This is always the anticipated part, right? When the technology.
Right. So thank you, Shelby. My name is Sharad Mehta, and I am the chair of COTE, Committee of the Environment of the Westborough Rotary Club. I have been a longtime resident of Westborough with my family. I've been living here about 21 years. And for my day job, I have an engineering background and I work at MIT Lincoln Lab. And I have joined with me is a fellow Rotarian, Heather Abraham, who is the program lead for the Trex Plastics Challenge Drive, which we are going to talk about. Heather?
Hi, my name is Heather Abraham, and I have been living in Westborough for about 10 years with my family, our 3 children. And I'm very excited to be a part of this initiative that Sharad shared with the rest of us. And my day job is I work at Staples, and in my spare time, I help out with the Rotary, and yes, so very excited to be here.
Great. Thank you, Heather. So this is an initiative that we have started. It's called the Trex Plastics Challenge Drive, and our core team consists of 3 members, Elliot Rittenberg, who is not here right now, and Heather and myself. And we are going to give you an overview of this program. So we've all seen the pollution that is being caused by the film and bags and plastics of that nature. And despite ban by many towns, film plastics do continue to pollute our oceans and waterways and landfills. And we see pictures like you see at the bottom of your screen, and we're basically filled with a sense of despair and helplessness. This is not what we want to see, but we also feel that there's nothing or not much we can do about it. So we have started this initiative, which gives us at a local, at our community level, to be able to do something to address this problem. And the main reason that motivates us for this project is that it's very difficult to make a business case for commercial recycling of film and bag plastics, because the material is distributed over a wide area in homes and outside of homes. And it's very difficult to make an economic case of collecting all these materials and process them and make them into any kind of a business. So communities must rise to the challenge of taking this issue and collecting the plastics by other means and taking them out of the pollution cycle, basically. So we have started this program called the Trex Plastics Challenge. A little bit of background. Trex is a company that produces composite plastic material products. And they have this nationwide program called the Trex Plastic Challenge. And what they're asking us to do as a community to collect 500 pounds of plastic, film plastics over a period of 6 months. And if we are able to do that and deliver to them, then they give us a park bench as a reward for the community. Now, the kinds of plastics that are acceptable are on the left side of your screen. So, for example, produce bags, ice bags, Ziplocs, cereal box liners, bread bags, newspapers, dry cleaning bags, plastic e-commerce mailers, even the plastics that you get your products from Amazon, the white bags, there and from the mail carriers, all those kinds of flexible plastics are acceptable under the program. They should be reasonably clean, but not pristine, as long as they're not soiled with food or anything. Even slight food and grease is fine, but not large amounts of food, and that should be fine. Now, just to summarize, so we determined a period of a start date for a 6-month period for the collection drive. And our goal is to collect a minimum of 500 pounds, which is equivalent to about 40,000 bags of film plastic. We weigh and record them and report the collected amount to Trex. And we deliver the collected plastic film to a participating retailer who has partnered with Trex. For us, this is Kohls at the Northborough crossing in Northborough. And we started this program on November 7th. And in 4 collection events, we have collected about 209 pounds toward our goal of 500 pounds.
That's amazing.
And thank you. And the COVID situation puts an additional wrinkle into the program, because we are also working hard to minimize the amount of handling by our volunteers. And so we are asking our community members to bring the plastics directly to Kohls at the scheduled times when possible, whenever, if at all possible. This is a poster that was created by one of the Westborough High School students, Abby Marr, and it's a very nice representation of a snapshot of the program. So this is the Trex Recycling Challenge, and over here we have the collection schedule, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on these dates, and we are asking folks to bring their plastics in large bags like this to minimize the handling by our volunteers. And we also have 3 satellite locations. If for any reason some folks are not able to come to this site, they can drop them off at one of these locations. And this is by far our preferred option is to bring the collection directly to Kohls for the COVID situation. Now, some of the dates have already passed, and our next collection is due on Saturday at 9 a.m. at Kohls. And following that, January 16th and January 30th are the collection dates for the month of January. Over here in the bottom, it gives a nice representation of some typical samples of the type of plastics that are acceptable under the program. Now,
So, oh,
yes,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, keep going. You're on a roll. Keep
Okay.
going.
Okay. So for Kohls, this is obviously an aerial view of the Northborough crossing. BJ's is here, Wegmans is here, and basically we have to go, folks should bring their plastic to the back side of Kohls over here. And our volunteers are waiting here to collect the plastics from you. And they weigh them. And there is a rear entrance, and we are helped by Kohls staff members. And we take these plastics and put them in a trailer that is already parked here, which is a Kohls trailer. And once it's put in the trailer, it's hauled away by Kohls to a remote recycling center where they get similar materials from other locations, and then they combine everything and turn them into press them into 1,000-pound bales, and those bales are shipped to Trex, and that's how this flow of material works.
Wow.
Did you have a question, Shelby?
No, I'm just, it's amazing when we talk about, the process, right? The easy part is going to the store and getting the product. So I'm getting a bag of ice, or I'm buying a box of Ziplocs or whatever.
Right.
But it always amazes me the downstream effect, no pun intended, of then what has to happen in order to effectively, reuse the product. So that was my sort of, oh, wow, moment.
So can I ask a couple?
Sure.
First of all, this is great. Shelby keeps doing this. She keeps bringing in all these initiatives that are going on. Are you guys going for like the gold medal of like nicest town in the Commonwealth or something? It's just incredible. So a few questions. First, so where does it go? Once Trex gets it, does Trex actually convert it into something? Or
Yes, they
so they don't
convert it
send it to
into their
China
own.
or anything?
No, they convert it into their own products. As you can actually visit their website, trex.com, and you will find a number of products that they make from composite materials. And so this becomes the raw material for them to be able to make their products.
Because I don't think that there's a more common concern in terms of things to be recycled than those bags, right? And I know that. So I live in Marlborough, and I know that one of the things that people that collect the recycling, but they say don't put those bags in, right?
Yes.
Because they jam up the such and such. I don't know how it all works, right?
Yes.
So the notion of actually having a town-wide, a community-wide way of dealing with this is terrific.
Right.
And when I was imagining, we have a rail trail that goes through from Marlborough to Hudson. These would be great benches on the rail trail, to be actually. So it's just just a wonderful idea. So a related question, is this something that Rotary International is encouraging, or is this what a totally homegrown that you decided to become part of this Trex challenge?
So this is homegrown. The COTE is Committee of the Environment, which is a Westborough Rotary Club group, which is working on environment issues. But it is consistent with the Rotary International, because this year Rotary has 7 focus areas, and one of the focus areas this year that Rotary Club has adopted is the environment. So it is very consistent with the overall focus of one of the focus areas of Rotary International. But this particular program is basically homegrown. We have initiated this as part of our COTE mission.
That's terrific. And do you anticipate that if you have met the challenge that you'll do it again?
Yes.
That will continue
That was my
Heather will
question,
actually
too.
talk more about it. She's the program lead, and she's extremely keen on getting this program an ongoing thing. So I'll let her talk to it.
Yes, yes. We're hoping that this will just become a way of life for our town and hopefully spread out through other communities.
Right.
We love the byproduct of having a bench. I think so many people, so many towns can benefit from that. That could be the part of nature's classroom for our students. There's so many places and locations we can use these benches, but regardless of that, we just want this to be habitual and something, everyone, we go to the dump once a week or do our recyclables there. This is just going to be another stop, and it'll be a part of our Saturday morning routine every other week. And it'll answer to that problem of all those plastics. And when you see those bags of plastics together, that's an aha moment, like you were saying, Shelby, where it's like, if we didn't just collect these 20 bags here, where will they end up? And they end up in the ocean, and we're just a tiny, tiny town. Like that's affecting a global issue.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Right.
Sharad, if I could just ask you, I don't know how many more slides. I just for our viewers, if you want to, if the slide presentation is done, if you could unshare so we could see everyone's face.
I do have a few more slides.
Oh, okay, okay, all right.
I have a
Okay.
few more. It'll take a few minutes.
Sure. No, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure everyone kind of gets a chance to see you guys as well.
Right. So these are the satellite locations for people who won't be able to come to Kohls for any reason.
Yep.
One is at the Central One Federal Credit Union, right here near the Rotary in town. And this is being hosted by Dave Kaiser and Rajani Kuduri, this collection site. The other one is at the Y, the Burroughs Y in Northborough, and Betsy Moquin is hosting that one. And the third one is at Midstrong on Lyman Street, the shopping mall.
Yep.
It is located between the Supercuts and the GameStop stores. And Paul and Julie Riley are hosting this one. Now, when we had started, we had very little. We had enough plastic that we could just put in our cars and bring them from these locations to the site. But by now, there is so much plastic being collected that we are no longer able to, it doesn't fit in our cars anymore.
Wow.
So Mark's Moving, Ian Desiato, who's the manager of warehousing at Mark's Moving, he's also a fellow Rotarian, and he has volunteered to come 1 or 2 days before our collection date and pick up the material from these sites and bring them to Kohls for this program.
It really, it takes a community effort. I mean, we're just thinking about, and I remember as Rotary, being a Rotarian and seeing, kind of the behind the scenes of rolling out of the logistics of this. And you think, well, people are just going to put it in a bin and somehow it's going to magically happen.
Right.
It really takes all of these partners and connecting points of, so to speak, the train to make a project like this successful.
That's right. Totally. We also have a sign up genius, which I'll give you a little bit more information, and you can go to, you can sign up as a volunteer, and you don't have to be a Rotarian for that. And you send us an email and we'll send you the link to it, and then you can sign up. You can pick the date and the time that you want to volunteer, and you can do that. You can become a volunteer for the project. We have a large number of people who have helped us. Kathy Wilford, our president, she's actually helped us find the satellite locations. And also she's working on getting us some funding for some of the items that are needed for the project, like weigh scales and consumables and signage and things like that. Jason Committee is the chair of the service committee, and he's helping us with the volunteering or getting volunteers for the program. And we've also had queries from other communities, like the North Shore Rotary Club, north of Boston, has shown a strong interest in this, and they would like to start a similar program after watching us in their own community. So we're hoping that this would scale up by other communities taking up and following this example and growing the collection even larger. We've also had a number of Westborough High School volunteers come and help us. Abby Mahar, as I said, produced the poster, which is helping us spread the word. And Kylie Valley and Mukil Nair and Sean Tam and May Abram. May Abram is Heather's daughter. They have all come to the Kohls site, and they have helped us weigh the plastics and move them into the trailer. So we're really appreciative of their help. And other Rotarians like Ed Babinski and my wife Alka, they're working on spreading the word in the community to ensure its success. And we've also had great support from the Kohls staff. Samantha Hutchins is the store manager, and she is very enthusiastic about the program. And then Shelby and Dana are staff members at Kohls who also have helped us. We are looking for more volunteers, and not necessarily at the store, but also anything that is done to spread the word in the community would be a great help.
So Sharad, if you could speak to that, just what are the roles of the volunteers? Just and we do need to probably move the conversation along just because of time. What are the roles of the volunteers once they're at Kohls? Is that primarily where they would go, and what's the time commitment?
Right. So the time commitment is just 1 hour every other Saturday morning, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Okay. And basically, they would collect the plastics that the visitors bring and weigh them and record them and help us move them into the trailer, the Kohls trailer. And that's pretty much it. And the other help we could use is in just spreading the word, which can be done at home. And we have gotten a lot of help, which is really amazing.
Good, excellent. Well, a great way. It's light lifting, right? No pun intended, right? So an hour of your time, you're helping the community, you're helping the environment. And we'll make sure, I do see that you have the sign, the next slide here is showing us how to contact the COTE group, as well as to sign up. And we'll make sure that Aiden, our technology genius behind the scenes, will make sure to have these on the actual screen so that folks can capture those as they're watching the show. Wonderful.
So that's all I had, Shelby.
That's great.
That's great. And congratulations to the two of you, because this is one of those, it has a wonderful environmental effect. You know, it really answers a ton of people's questions about this very terrible thing, those bags, right, that we all use. And it's also building community. That's what's really special, I think, about it, is that it's doing it in a way that's actually getting people probably interested in more stuff that's like this, and making them people feel empowered, like, God, I can deal with this. You know, I can actually do this. Great.
Right next to me here, right? I'm sitting next to my daughter's kind of work school space, right? Extra bags, right? Now we do try to recycle them, we try to use them for other purposes, but sometimes they get kind of grungy and the little zips don't work anymore or whatever. And the easy part is to just throw them in the trash and say, it's going in the trash. But what we did, knowing this challenge was coming up, is we took one of our in-house recycling bins that we usually use for, glass or whatever, and we just said, we're just going to use that for plastic. And it's amazing how quickly the plastic accumulates. Really, initially it was like this little ball, and I was like, well, geez, this is kind of a waste of a bin. It really was. It was kind of annoying me that I was setting aside this bin. And then all of a sudden it's like stuff to the top. So I'll be dropping that off on Saturday. And
that's wonderful.
But it's amazing.
It is. Yeah, we have a trash bin now just dedicated for plastics, and it fills up quickly. And
it does. It also makes you think, wait a second, before I put this in there, could I reuse it? Right. So it has a dual effect. And even even just in terms of like, as we were wrapping up the holidays, right? Instead of throwing stuff into a plastic bag to put in the fridge,
Right.
I might be much more likely to use a, you know, a reusable, washable container
Right.
so that I ultimately don't have to recycle it. So it has, you know, sort of,
Right.
it makes us much more conscientious of things that we're not normally maybe aware of or need to be better about.
Yeah.
Like the bag version of Elf on the Shelf, you know, it's like every time you go by and you're like, oh my God, how can I be throwing this away? Do something about it, right?
So the main point of the program is really to generate this awareness. I mean, as soon as we start doing it, we all realize, oh my God, it's amazing how much plastic we're using.
Yep.
Despite the fact that it's been banned by so many communities, it still continues to be part of our lives.
Yeah.
So this is just a wonderful, thank you very much for doing this. It's just it's a wonderful conclusion to an otherwise dreadful year, to be seeing this positive thing going into 2021. It's just terrific. And now Shelby, I know one of my jobs is to be the timekeeper, and I'm looking and seeing we're a little close on time.
Sure.
But you know, once again, any other things that you need to be talking about as the selectman in terms of, you know, stuff that's coming up? Or are we just going to have people just wait with anticipation for our next show, which is in 2021?
I'm going to just say, first of all, I want to thank everyone who has watched our show. Arthur and I love doing it. The smiles you see are genuine.
Can't they tell? Can they tell?
We love doing it. We're looking forward and planning 2021 and kind of our approach. So looking forward to having growth in our viewership. I do want to let folks know that most important, you know, as a taxpayer, budget discussions are underway right now, and you'll be hearing lots more about that as through selectmen's meetings and just information on the town's website. And we'll certainly have a conversation here. And so stay tuned.
Sharad and Heather, thank you so much. This
Thank
is just
you.
great. Shelby, thanks for doing this. This is just a wonderful time. Thanks to you all. A very happy new year, 2021. You know, vaccines coming, right?
There you go.
Masks, maybe, you know, someday maybe putting these masks away.
Right.
And so thank you to all. And folks, thank you for watching. Once again, just you got a few more months. Vaccines coming. Don't do anything stupid, right? Get in trouble before you're safe. We're almost all out of this.
That's right.
Happy New Year to Shelby, to you all, and folks, Happy New Year to you. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the next show, the next installment of Frank and Mary in Westborough, this one in 2021. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.